What's up guys, this is Astranox. This time for the showcase of Specimen Sez. I finally have him on account number 1. He's a big boy, he's built with 15 skill ups. I have him on account number 3, but I decided to build him on this account. It just feels better here. I'm going to be talking about his skills, pros and cons to using this hero, how you should be building this hero. So I'm using him in World Arena RTA. I have 2 imprints on him. I sacrifice 2 Sez. And I prefer the imprint that affects the whole team. You're just gonna end up getting more value. So here, the way I have him built is on speed critical hit set, and that works well for me. You can see his stats are pretty insane. I mean, almost 300% crit damage. I have 75% effectiveness, 236 speed. I have 3000 attack and Portrait of the Saviors to push the damage even further. So here we go in the first battle here. I'm fighting different players, Master, Challenger. I got 2 champion players that I fight later on. Actually, like second battle, like 4th battle, something like that. But yes, you will see that Specimen Sez I'm putting him to good use. You will see what kind of numbers you can get out of this hero. He has 15 skill ups. Yes, my stats are pretty crazy. But the good news is that if you land a stun, no matter with who it is, it could be from the kit of Specimen Sez with the skill 1, it could be from the skill number 2. When the target is stunned, they will take so much damage, it's ridiculous. You don't even need such high offensive stats. That's the really cool thing. 100% defense penetration if the target is stunned. That is incredibly high. That means that you can even build this hero with some bulk. I've faced some of them in the past. This hero, the cool thing is that if any of your ally gets hit, right, he can counterattack when his skill 3 is not on cooldown. And the skill 1, if the target is stunned, because he can land a stun with the skill number 1, if he does proceed to land the stun with S1, he will get 25% combat units push, which means that if it does happen, he's going to be able to cut between the enemy. He can get that nice 25% CR push, and that can be quite interesting because you land a stun, that's already real strong right there, and then you can follow up, with the skill number 3 to just delete the target. And if you down the target, the skill 3 cooldown gets reset. You can just keep on doing it. Now the skill 3 has 30% defense penetration if the target is not stunned. It is not bad. With my kind of stats, I'm able to deal quite a bit of damage depending on how much defense they have, how much damage mitigation, and how many layers of protection that they have. But I'm seeing numbers like, on a really tanky hero, don't really remember if there was an Aureus there, but they really have high defense, right? I could have something like a 6,000 damage hit, but it could also go all the way up to 15,000, something like that, if they are more on the squishier side, no layers of protection, like a damage dealer, not like a bruiser, right? So that's good because 30% defense penetration. I have Portrait of the Saviors, I got the 15 skill ups too. You can see counter attack here, and it's something extra, not something that you will rely upon, but a 20% chance to counter attack, especially when the enemy attacks your whole team. It does happen here and there, and it can make up for some really interesting things. Now, you can open with the skill number 2 to potentially land a stun. The skill number 2 has a 60% chance to stun, and it's an AoE attack. It attacks everyone, so it's quite a few chances to land a stun, and then you can proceed to just pick the enemy apart with whoever got stunned, right? I built him with quite a bit of speed. 236, right? Like the gear that I had laying around and the gear that I stole from some other heroes, I was just going for that 100% crit, as much crit damage as possible, effectiveness and speed. Like those were the 4 stats I was looking for, but also of course attack, right? And I have speed main stat on my boot, so you can definitely get some higher numbers if you're going to run him slower. But then you can also build him with some bulk. Like you can have some health, you can have some defense on him, and he's built slower, let's say. Maybe his counter attack does trigger, and then he could land a stun here and there, and maybe your team has enough time because he's going last in your combo, right? And you're trying to take off their immunity set, you're trying to land a stun here and there, and then you just start to pick them off with the skill number 3, and it resets every time you down a target. So for squishier target like an Arbiter Vildred, you don't even need the RB to be stunned, and I'm able to get like 15,000 damage, maybe a bit more, if they don't have those layers of protection, right? And that Arbiter Vildred, most Arbiter Vildred will just go down at that point. Now, you could use the Guild War Unity artifact if you feel like the Arbiter Vildreds that you're fighting have like evasion because they're like on Moonlight Dreamblade. So you can definitely do that because you definitely don't want the skill 3 to miss. That's the thing. I do prefer to have the Unity Guild War artifact on an RGB hero, not a light or dark neutral hero, right? Because you'll get more value out of that. But still, it is something you can consider. Portrait of the Saviors, you know, most of the time it's going to be activated because the target will have 50% HP or more. And even if it's not, because they're under 50% HP, then the skill 3 will just delete them, right? He has extinction on the skill number 3. So like there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff I want to talk about. But the extinction is definitely a big one, right? Like Arbiter Vildred, you can just one-tap him. They bring Maid Chloe, you can just start to one-tap their damage dealers. And then she can bring them back, right? If they have the revive, you know, buff on them. Maybe they brought Ruel of Light. You just start to pick, you know, their squishy, like damage dealer, the big threat heroes. Maybe they are bruiser heroes or something like that. Then you will need to, of course, it's a team game. You need to use the rest of your team to soften them up, set up a stun, and then blow out the target. Now this hero does require some setup, but since he was buffed, right, the cool thing is that he has stun on skill 1. He has stun on skill number 2 that attacks everyone. And the skill number 2 has a 50% combat units push when you use it. And you do have a soul burn for 10 souls that increases the damage of the skill number 2. The skill number 2 actually deals quite a bit of damage, guys. It has only 3 turn cooldown. It's 2.5 turn cooldown because you're already getting half the turn in CR push, right? So if you have him built the way I have him built, right, then what's going to happen is that if they are slower, the enemy, and let's say they're more on this, like they're starting to build their CR because they're at like low CR percentage, right? They're like 0 to 25% CR. Then you could skill 2, not even land a stun, and then you will get to go again if you have enough speed on him, and then take them out with the skill number 3. Or you do land the stun, and then they're just gonna get deleted, guys. Like when you use the skill 3 and it penetrates 100% of their defense, you don't even need attack buff, and he's going to like deal like 30,000 damage. 30,000 damage with the way I have him built. Like without attack buff. It's ridiculous what kind of number that is. That's why I'm saying you don't even need to build him with that much offensive power if you know you're gonna be landing some stuns, because maybe you pair him with like Edda, you pair him with, you know, you got a mage with that Abyssal Crown and you were able to land stun on some of their heroes or one of their hero. No matter who you're going to combo him with, if you're able to land a stun or more, then like you're definitely going to be in a good position because stun is already so strong, but it just sort of like guarantees you're going to take the target down unless they have like immortality and vulnerability on them. But at that point, I mean, you could just decide to use the skill 2 or the skill 1. Maybe you land a stun and you get so much value out of a stun. It's ridiculous. It just buys you so much time, especially if you're able to land that stun on a big threat, right? But you have to be mindful of cleansers. You have to be mindful of debuff immunity, right? Like if they have immunity set, then you need to take that immunity set off of them if you're going to do a setup of landing a stun on them. So yeah, I got into like the thing is right now, this was during my climb all the way to Challenger, and I was able to fight some champion players, and I had some footage. I was saving the footage for Specimen Sez for this particular video because it's the showcase of him, right? I always wanted to do the showcase of Specimen Sez. Got him on the account 1, you know, the speed cleave, speed team account, speed single target burst account, perfect account for him. Saved the molas, and I built him, and I'm happy about that. So other ways that you can build this hero, I mean, on speed, it feels real good. Speed hit, speed crit. I mean, you could use speed penetration set because if you don't land stun, you can still deal, like, let's say against Arbiter Vildred, you can deal even more damage because you don't have a stun on him, right? You have 30% defense penetration built into the skill number 3. Add a penetration set there. That could help you to just one-tap him. or other heroes, right? So that's another way to build this hero. Yes, you could have him on like speed immunity. You could have him, I mean, you could have him on a counter set with maybe immunity, build him slower with more bulk. But I'm really happy about his performance. Definitely some nice buffs that he got over time. But now he's in a solid spot, I would say. He just requires a team, but even without a team, he's sort of like self-sufficient with the rest of his kit. Let us know what you guys think about all that in the comment section. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.